I think you strafe pretty well here given the circumstances, right? I think you strafe pretty well here given the circumstances, because right here, right? I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I'll talk about it. And the Bloodhound runs out of ammo. The Bloodhound notably runs out of ammo, so you walk forward here, which is good. And you also need you need to walk forward for two reasons. One, you need to get in range of your flatline. You need to get range of hipfire flatline, even though you ADS it. But like, let's say you don't ADS it. Let's say you actually hipfire like you're supposed to. You can get in range to hipfire your flatline, right? Because the flatline is really good in like ranges like this. Right, because right here you can hip fire, and then right here you can ADS, right? But there's this awkward middle ground where you can't really do either. Yeah, like walking forward there was good for those reasons. Oh wait, the other reason being that there's nowhere to strafe, right? The other reason number two, also high blood one. The other reason is because there's nowhere to strafe, right? If you're in this hallway, you have to consider how much area you have to strafe and how much area your opponent has to strafe, right? So if you look at right here, right? The Bloodhound is right here. The Bloodhound can strafe over here to this barrel or strafe into the room to break LOS with you, right? You basically have the same strafe range, but you can't break LOS with him, right? You can't break LOS with this Bloodhound at all. So you can strafe backward up the staircase, but the death box is going to block you, and you can't really strafe out of this fight too well. You basically have to like sprint and jump out of the fight rather than actually trying to strafe out of it, right? So in you walking forward, right? If you walk forward here, you deny this Bloodhound's ability to strafe around, right? Because now if you take this space here, you now gain this area to strafe in, like this. You can now strafe sideways. You basically flip the rectangle around, right? You now have the maximum amount of range to strafe in, when you were extremely limited before, right? Because if you're trying to hit somebody that's strafing, if somebody's strafing in a box like this versus in a box like this. Like the whole strafe range is in here, right? Like this is the strafe range. The yellow is the strafe range, right? Who's harder to hit? Which one's harder to hit? Number one or number two? Two is harder to hit. One. Well, no, because if you're in range one, right, and you're here and you're strafing, you can only strafe so far. You can keep your crosshair centered. You can just keep your crosshair centered on where they are and make really small adjustments to actually hit them where they are. But if someone's in the open here, they have so much more range to strafe in, right? They can strafe from one side to the other. They can strafe in any possible way to actually make you be like way harder to hit them, right? So I want you to notice especially how Crazy uses the cover here when he's reloading. Literally, it's such a small thing, but it's really important to do. At any downtime where you can't effectively trade damage out, when you can't trade damage out, you need to use cover to deny damage coming in, or try and do as many things as you can to deny damage coming in, right? Also, I also want to point out that it's Crazy makes the appropriate play here, the good play to not focus on his own health and instead shoot the enemy team, right? Because if you aren't shooting here, right? There's a lot of situations where if you are going to instead heal, like if Crazy heals in a situation, his team is now in a 2v3, right? His team is now engaged in a 2v3. But if he stops healing and continues to shoot, he can still deal maximum damage. If he's 1 HP, I would argue probably better to pop a bat. But since he's like relatively okay, he doesn't need to worry about his health too much. If he gets peeked and shot again, then he can go back into cover and then actually heal, because they're gonna expect him to re-peek. But since there's no one actually looking at him, and his teammates are shooting people, he can actually still contribute to this 3v3 and this team fight very effectively. Don't be too stressed out about your own HP value if you're not in critical condition, right? Because he's completely safe in cover here, regardless of the HP to fight, right? And he outpours like a lot of damage because literally no one's looking at him.
Something just shook my screen, man.
There's literally like no one. There's literally like no one shooting at him. No one looking at him. No one shooting at him. Nothing, right? I also want to point out that this strafe was really good. This anti-mirror was really good because the Octane is running for this box, right? Oops. If you look at how if you look at this cover that the Octane is running to, right? If you look at this cover that the Octane is running to, you can see that the LS is broken right here, right? LS is broken from about right here. So once the Octane crosses that, he won't be able to deal damage anymore. But he's strafing in a way that continually lets him peek the Octane more and more and more and more as he runs into the cover, right? He's anti-mirroring him and basically not allowing him to actually enter the box. In most situations, I would say that when someone's running like this, you want to mirror them, so it's way easier to hit the shots. But this is a really good case for when you want to anti-mirror somebody, right? Because the Octane gets fundamentally like 3 car bullets more because of Crazy Strafe. The only thing he could have done better was to literally just stop moving forward, stop moving diagonal, and just start moving to the right instead. Because he covers less distance going diagonally than he does than he would by just going to the hard right. But there's also the railing here. He'd have to maneuver in a really weird way. But really solid like mechanics fundamentals all around. They aren't really shooting at him, so it's like not really super. And this guy has like 1 HP.
I don't know what.
Oh, like it's fine.
It like kind of took my screen and like.
This Wraith has like awful strafe. She just stands still. She does 3 really like. That's what you guys look like when you guys hit like 3 short strafes. That Wraith, I can see her move this way and then move this way and then move this way and then move this way, but Crazy just does not literally have to move his mouse at all. Like, look how much he has to move. Weird. It doesn't do shit. Doesn't do like literally anything. His mouse stays relatively still. Global strafes. I mean, even if there was a global bias, it's still bad strafes regardless. I don't that's not the fundamental issue. It's just bad in general. Bad strafes to do in this game, and especially in that situation. I would have lost that fight. Short strafes are hard for me. Long strafes, I could one clip. The problem is that you're probably doing way too much. If someone is short strafing, if someone's doing this over and over like this, you're probably trying to move your mouse in the same way. You're probably trying to go track, force your activity, right? Just be lazy. Don't put so much energy into it. Don't overthink it. If someone's moving like this, right? You can literally you'll probably get more damage output keeping your crosshair right here the entire time, because this person's crossing into it several times over and over again, right? Just be lazy with your aim. Don't try and overcomplicate it. Don't try and track every single motion that they do, because if they're gonna short strafe like that every single time, just keep your crosshair centered, and you will literally get more value by just underflicking on them. Literally just keeping your crosshair centered. You can do small adjustments. You can only do small adjustments like this and be fine. Or even just move. Or you can literally just move your character as well. If you see that if you see that somebody is going to the left, you can move to the left as well. And if they move to the right, you can also just move to the right as well. You can just copy their movement. This is called a mirror. This is literally like this will help you just fuck up any short shift that anybody does. That's when it comes to reactivity. Yeah, if you're trying, if you're trying to track somebody and they're doing like short crazy woo, I'm insane crazy short strafe woo, right? Literally just stay lazy. Just be lazy as fuck with your aim. Don't overcomplicate. Don't track every single possible movement. There's a lot of aimers, especially like Redfi. Redfi is a great aimer. This is not a diss at all. People will see aimers like Redfi and then force reactivity really hard when reactivity is really physically and mentally demanding to do in situations like that. And realistically, you're better off just not forcing reactivity like that. Most goes when they start short behind the guns blueprint when their time kicks in. When on the other side, make sure everything works for me though. I mean, it's more of a conscious effort to realize that, hey, if someone is going to move to like, let's say let's break down the situation, right? If someone's right here, and then they short strafe to the left, that's way too long. Someone short strafes to the left, and then they strafe to the right, right? And then they strafe to the left. Right here, this strafe back at this strafe here, you should realize now that they're just doing short strafes back over and over again, right? Because right here, you're probably going to look if your reacting speed isn't like really slow, you realize that, hey, looking at the target, moving to the right, and then your aim's gonna look like this, and then they're gonna go back, and you're like, oh, okay. Then you cross back like this, and then once they turn again, you're like, oh, okay. And then you just kind of keep your crosshair in this general area. Let them strafe into your crosshair. Let them do the aiming for you, right? Let them move into your crosshair. Let them do the aiming for you. Just keep your crosshair like this, right? And if someone does it really fast, you don't even need to move your mouse, right? If anyone moves faster than this, you do not need to move your mouse a single bit. Because someone is just doing this. If someone's just doing this, They're not even moving on your screen, right? I was gonna say because it's fire, right? It seems like a flatline. But so, literally, the problem is that this person Kersey uses a wingman against a flatline in a range like that, right? So when pushing like this, right? If you look at your opponent's effective weapon range, right? The flatline, as I said earlier, has an effective good range of like this, right? If you're right here, the flatline is good in every range like this. Flatline is good in really close range because you can hip fire really good, you know? But the flatline falls off in ranges like this. When it comes to this range, right? You can't, like, the flatline has to be hip fired or ADS. But if you ADS, you lose your movement speed, which can get you killed against certain guns like SMGs. Like, SMGs typically have a faster time to kill. They have higher movement speed, so you have to out-aim the person. And in an Apex, you never want to go for an aim duel. Aim duels are bad unless you have to, right? You never want to go up to somebody and go, hey, hey, you, aim duel me. You, me, right now. Let's aim duel, right? Because that's how you take a lot of damage while also receiving a lot of damage, right? But if you're receiving and taking a lot of damage, that isn't good. You want to always try and take less damage than you are dealing, right? Especially in situations where you're outnumbered, which in this situation he is. This is a 2v3. I mean, he knocked one, but he's going into this fight already at a disadvantage, right? You're seeing out of the sky from an angle. Yeah, I think it's wasted time, but I think I'll talk about that in a bit. This fight, right? And then the flatline is good from short medium to like long ranges, right? Because you can like jitter in the flatline, you can recoil control the flatline. It's good with the scope on it, right? This is all the time that a flatline is really good in, right? And Kersey is fighting in the worst range possible, right? Kersey's using a wingman, right? The wingman is good. This is what the wingman's strengths look like. All right. The wingman is really good in all of these ranges. There's no weak spot for the wingman. The only thing that's weak can be mechanics, right? So if you're good with the wingman is effective in every possible range. It has no fall off, good ammo efficiency, especially because this is a heavy ammo wingman. It has good ammo efficiency, good damage per shot. It has everything that's really fucking good, right? So, what range should Kersey challenge the guy with the flatline with? The simple answer is this range right here. Kersey should try and challenge this guy in this range rather than in this range of the flatline. And he does miss his shots, obviously. Sure, he does miss his shots. But one, that'll happen to anybody. And two, you shouldn't be taking fights like this anyway, because even if he doesn't miss his shots here, right? Because even if he doesn't miss his shots here, right? Like, he takes, like, what? 90 damage about? It takes at least 2 shots to kill this guy? Alright, let's see. Alright. Let's say he hits that shot and that shot. He's already taken 50 damage at this point, right? He would take about that much damage killing this guy, right? So right here, if he slides this short, he should either back up. He should back up or go back to the cover here to play the ramp. Or alternatively, he has another weapon. He could have reloaded his car. He could have reloaded his car 100%. Let's go like a different color. Let's go like green. He also could have just reloaded his car, which is effective in about this range, right? And then he just fights him with the car in this range. In this range, you can't tell me that he loses this duel to the guy with the car, right? He might take a similar amount of damage, but it's still a more beneficial situation, right? Those are the 2 ways I see that he actually turns this fight around and wins this fight by a wider margin. And that wider margin can literally let him thirst the guy and then armor swap off of it, right? Especially because his car is already reloaded, right? His car is like half a magnet, I think that's the point, right? Like he could have reloaded his car and instead of doing it over this and challenge him, right? But if he makes the mistake of just using the wingman and continues to use the wingman, he should use it like this and strafe backward. But realistically, he should swap to the car here and just use the car and hit fire the car until the guy's dead. And then alternatively, Spades mentioned this earlier. He shouldn't be trying to use the car like this. You should be using the wingman like that instead. Like, this is really good for a wingman. This is not good for a car or like an AR. Like the wingman or an AR is way better for this. Do not use a car for doing this. all it's gonna do is make you miss shots and maybe put out 20 damage while they land and then can instantly shoot you while reloading, or not have a full mag. Sure, all the time would you get the car? I mean, yeah, because the perceived distance is way easier, right? Because if we think about perception, if someone's moving like this, if they're moving in a straight line, if we were to draw that, it looks like this, right? You can literally just keep your crosshair like this, or aim up a little bit for bullet, or to count for bullet drop, right? But like, even then, even with the car, right? Like, how many players do you know can actually hit shots like this with the car? Like, how many players do you know can actually hit shots with this like the car? And one wingman shot is way better than like 15 car shots in that range, right? You probably could have. I mean, you want to go for the easiest possible way to hit people, right? Because you have to actively track them for the entire time instead of clicking at one point. Clicking at one point is way easier here. Clicking at one point is way easier here. Okay. I'm gonna let the clip play through, and then we'll go ahead and review it after. Do you die here? No, she just decides to do dude, she decides to do the Valkyrie thing and like just fly away. Okay. She just does the Valkyrie thing and flies away. Okay. So right here, the door is played perfectly. This is how you should play a door. Doors literally let you instantly like break and establish cover. Literally, she doesn't even shoot back at you, so it's reaching to close the door. You literally play this like 100% perfectly. This is totally like this is just perfect. Play the door. The only thing I don't necessarily agree with is going all the way over here, popping a cell and walking all the way over here, because then let them res for free. You could definitely, like, one thermite isn't enough to really like scare you, in my opinion. People get really scared of thermites. Like, I've had situations where I literally go and I will literally throw a thermite and then run through the thermite, right? Because they can't see you through the thermite and they don't expect you to full swing through a thermite, right? So as soon as this thermite comes down, you can literally back up and still play this door. It's not breaking the door, it's not doing anything like that. You can also just push forward here. Especially because I'm pretty sure you're in duos, right? This is duos, right, Tragic? Doesn't snipe in RPG and run through the rents. I don't know if they do particularly. I don't watch a lot of the gameplay, but it's overall a good thing to do. Because thermite doesn't burn the door. It's landing on the outside. You can easily, instead of repositioning all the way over here and giving up any sense of control of the space you have over here, you can literally just play like back here, right? Because this ramp extends, man, isn't it? Like the arrow keys to go back, not speed.
11 months, baby. Let's go.
Arvid, thank you for the fucking 11 months of tier 3. I appreciate you. Thank you, Arvid. Welcome back. Yeah, but you have this entire platform over here to still play, right? And you have this window right here you can play, and another door over here that you can play, right? So literally, you run the furthest possible way away to them, so you have to run back over here, and then they get the rest for free, right? It's important to consider that, like, I mean, nades obviously deny area, but if you think about the way that nades effectively deny area, you don't have to give up all this space for it, right? It's only duo, so it's only one other person, but you're basically fine to just like keep fighting it for that space, you know? How many? And here, right, you push. You hear them resing, so you're pushing here. Right here, right? Okay. This is some small strafe stuff. It's right here, right? It's right here. You slid on top of her, right? So which way is the best way to go, chat? Behind her, circle her. Left, dive it. I actually argue that left, while left is appealing, going left this way is appealing for the reasons that you are behind her, right? Let's consider the different things that go into each side, right? So if you go left here, you're behind her. She can't really deal damage to you, so you basically win the trade, right? Strafing to her right here, you can also argue that because you actually establish cover, you can use this to go to cover. You can strafe into cover. You can strafe into cover and maybe take less damage from the second person, because second person's been rezzed. The second person's been res, but you haven't taken any damage here. It's basically considering which way you think is probably best for this, right? But I agree that strafing left here is 100% the play. You should hard strafe left here because you can go walk to this wall over here, play this wall, and play like this cover here instead of being out in the open. Because right now you don't really have any cover to play. If you're getting shot first, or like if this other person comes and swings you and starts shooting at you, right? Like this person like walks out here, you can play this cover, jump over the wall, or if they swing you from like right here, you can play this wall, everything like that, right? But over here kind of limits your options to what you can do. You're walking into her crosshair as well. Take her angle, force a mag recognize who they're messing with. Yeah, exactly. Especially since you're on console and everybody's on controller, no one on controller can turn around quick enough for them to do this on you. They literally can't. They literally can't, right? So in situations where you're strafing against an opponent, it's important to understand the geometry and where other opponents might be, right? Because the only disadvantage to strafing this way, the advantage of strafing this way, is that the other opponent is right here, right? And this other opponent can shoot you back, but since you have a car, you have the initial damage boost or like damage shots on her. You can kill her instantly. You can kill her pretty easily, and then go fight this person, right? I like strafing to the left here is completely fine. You start strafing to the left, or no, you start strafing to the right. Actually, never mind. Yeah, you start strafing to the right, and then back to the left here. Just focus, especially when you're fighting people, to make sure to pick directions to strafe based on the environment and where other enemies are. Okay. Like she doesn't do that much damage to you, and you kind of just mop these guys, but right. But you would have taken a lot less damage because she's trying to catch up to you here, right? She's literally trying to catch up to where you are. She does the slow turn, and you walk into her crosshair as well, right? Like, you're literally making it twice as easy for her, too. Oh, yeah, I got caught off guard because she wore me as a hat. I mean, even if she caught you off guard, right? Still a very... It's still important to still consider which ways to strafe. To where, like, when manually thinking about it, once you start manually thinking about which way you're going to strafe, it'll become second nature. Like, you want to do the whole thought process behind it. You'll just do it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that was probably the best way to strafe. Because you're over here now, and then you jump up here. And, like, now you're playing this cover. You could have been in this cover earlier, too. And now she has a Mastiff. You do the right thing in this situation, which is to back up. She has a Mastiff. A Mastiff's effective range is close. You have a car. Car works in, like, this range. It works in all of these ranges. So you basically want to play the car in its best area possible to deny the opponent value, things like that. So here backing up is 100% the play. You should just back up, give her space. The number one priority here should be to probably either one, hard swinger, because if you're playing against a shotgun, you need to hard swing them basically, unless they have an Eva. And Eva's a fully automatic shotgun, so it doesn't really apply for this. But to play around a shotgun, you need a hard swing, or you need to break her, or you need to break her cover, right? Because in this situation, right, you're 1 HP. You can't really hard swing her because you're so low. If you hard swing her, she'll probably just one pump you and you'll die, right? So next thing you have to do is break her cover. You have to deny her the ability to jiggle peek you back and forth here. So as soon as you find somewhere to play, like this door, or you can go backwards and play some cover, maybe pop some cells, heal, you can scan, you can do all that shit, right? This is basically the number one priority right now. You should try and break her cover, try and deny her the value that she has by jiggle peeking on this corner. And then she's just a fucking idiot, and then Valk's away, right? But if this opponent was way more aggressive, you're sitting here not doing either of those two things, right? Because you can hard swing her if your balls are massive, right? Balls are massive, you just swing this, right? But if you're playing a lot more reserved and a lot more, I think I would argue smarter, you definitely want to try and just deny her the value. And you're kind of just sitting here for like a good 2 seconds. Homie Ammo Type's kind of just playing this mid ground. You're still playing into her strengths, and if she was like a half decent player, if she was a half decent player, she would have killed you there. She's just an idiot and decides to Valk. I don't really want to go. That's not much to go over there. That was a good jump. Chat, why is that jump a good jump? Chat, why is this jump a good jump? I yell at my students all the time to not jump in fights. So why is this a good jump? Who knows? Who knows the sauce? Who knows the sauce as to why this jump is good? Catalyst goo? No, it doesn't matter. If the catalyst goo was there or wasn't there, it would still be a good jump. you're in their face. Not necessarily the best reason as to why it's a good jump. Jump to cover? Nope. Tracking jumps up close is hard. Yeah, I mean, the biggest reason that this is a good jump, right? So jumping, so let's break down why jumping is bad, right? Jumping is bad because you go into a predictable arc like this, right? Sure, you can lurch. Sure, you can go like this. Sure, you can do that, right? But at the end of the day, you still have this period of time where you're still going in a straight line, right? You still go in a straight line, right? But the prediction doesn't work if you can't see them if you can't get information to predict them, right? So if you start jumping right here, the next time, like if there's a wall right here, right? Like this is a wall, and you jump like right here, they can't see you for that. So the next time they see you, they expect you to be right here. They don't expect you to be up here. They can't predict something that they can't see. There's no information for them to do. They can't predict it, right? That's why the jump is really good here. Tragic is out of line of sight here. Know the catalyst is gonna push, so jumps around the corner. The catalyst is going to be aiming in the center of your screen here. So the catalyst has to aim up and hit a hard track. Jumping in really close range, especially jumping is bad in most situations. But if you're really close in their face, tracking a jumping target in really close range is really hard. Right. This jump is really, really good. Not only that, but Tragic lands the slide, or lands the jump into a slide to actually let them maneuver back to this cover here and play a different piece of cover now, as they know where the other enemy is. Like, this is really impressive. This is genuinely really impressive. Like a solid beam, a solid peek, good beam. The jump over the wall. I want you to notice, especially. I want you to notice this right now, right? Okay. Oh, guys, I want you to notice this, right? So Tragic swings this corner, right? Tragic swings this corner, sees that there's two people over here. One here, right? This Octane is moving forward to push. This thing over here is also moving forward to push, right? So Tragic specifically strafes in a way to isolate the two enemies where they are, right? So this Octane's pushing forward. Notice how Tragic steps back here. Now the Octane is completely isolated, and they're now fighting a 1v1 situation here, right? Tragic's not peeking two people at once. He's only peeking one single person at once. They're cut off. This is how you isolate. This is how you isolate 1v3s through 1v1s, right? Everyone says to 1v3 you have to 1v1 3 times, right? This is how you do it. This is a perfect example of how you strafe and cover to effectively cut up opponents and deny them value on you, right? Tragic's never being shot by more than one person at once, right? Tragic is shooting this first person here, beams the fuck out of him, kills him, right? Like, and comes over here, plays this cover because they know where the other opponents are. Strafes backward here, and a really, really good strafe to deny the opponents, like damage. And even fighting this 1v1, Tragic takes a good amount of damage.
Hi, Wraith.
Catderp, thank you for the Prime for 2 months. Hello. Welcome back. Tragic win this. Why is that so loud? Very well played. Why is that so loud? Why is the res so loud? Is that a console thing? Why is that so loud? Have I got the audio DLC? Apparently. So right here is kind of right here is difficult, right? Because you don't know which side she's coming from, but you are in Blood Hole here, right? Right here, I feel like you have two decisions, right? So I don't know if you realize at this point it's a lifeline. I don't think I would realize in the situation that it's a lifeline, right? So right here, you can go hug the cover here. You can go hug a corner of the cover here, because you know she's gonna peek from this side or from this side, right? Because that's just how the cover works, right? So what you can effectively do is you can pick the side that you think she's going to actually strafe from, like the most likely, right? You just peek this side, so I'd argue that she's most likely to peek this side, right? So if you come over, play this corner right here, you can come stand here, pop your scan, so you have wall hacks on her to know exactly where she's gonna go and which side she's gonna peek. And especially since you're in Blood Hole, your scan takes like 0.07 seconds or some shit like that, right? You can literally sit on this corner here, Bloodhound scan forward, and then figure out where she's gonna come from. Or if you want to, I argue that a hard swing here is really unexpected and really powerful, right? Because if you are, because if you're 1v2ing, right? You're 1v2. You're 1v3ing rather. You're 1v3ing, right? You knock out two of them, right? If these people are together, or these people have comms at all or anything like that, this last person, I mean, even without this last person, right? This last person knows you haven't healed at all, right? This last person has seen you fight all three of these people. This last person's likely to be aggressive towards you, right? This last person is probably going to try and fight you. If you hard swing them before they can hard swing you, because you're at the disadvantage and you can get initial damage off here, that's also a completely other, like, acceptable, like, line of play, right? Like, if you hard swing this lifeline and get the initial, like, 50 damage off on her, you can win that fight really easy. But instead, you kind of let her peek you instead of you peeking her, right? And you take a good amount of damage here and not really playing any sort of line of cover, right? If you expect somebody's going to peek you, you need to have some sort of avenue to either trade damage back effectively or deny the damage through things like cover or abilities, right? So if I know this, if I know this lifeline's gonna peek me, right? I don't want to sit here and let her peek me. I don't want to back myself up from cover here, right? Like, cause you're holding your joystick like this way, right? Ideally, you want to be hugging cover. Or like using like a grenade to deny, like, I mean, her ability to like peek this corner, right? Like if you throw like a frag right here, you can throw a frag on the body. She can't really peek this way. She might swing this way. She might sit on the body. She might eat the nade, honestly. But my best advice here is to more so move towards the cover, or not. Don't strafe like out at all. Don't strafe out at all here. Just because you are like down so much health, right? You either want to hard play the cover or you want to just swing her after you realize what side she's on, right? She has a knockdown shield too, so I think maybe playing the cover is just overall a better play. But you can, but swinging is still a play that you can do, right? And like you trade damage back pretty well, but you just have so little health it doesn't matter. And then you go for like literally the perfect play here, which is just armor swapping the box. You thirst the guy, armor swap the box, and then you finish her off. Easy. Like very well played. Oh man. Okay. Got some EVA gameplay, let's go. Okay. First thing here, right? First thing. One of the things I've been trying to mentally break myself, but like, okay. So like right here, right? This strafe is completely fine. This strafe, you like you just mirror her. You just mirror her and then she just runs in a straight line, right? Like this is completely fine, right? However, I want to argue something. I want to argue a different point, right? So when you're strafing, right? This wraith is right here against the wall, right? You don't want to only strafe. You don't only want to strafe two-dimensionally. It's important to think about strafing in the 3 dimensions as well. So you strafe, you know, diagonally, left, right, back, forward, blah 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 blah, right? And think about when to do it, right? This situation, you basically just set this wraith up on like a line here, and literally just mirror the fuck out of her, right? And it's not like she just dies. She just like literally dies, right? But I argue that in a lot of situations, it's important to use strafe to not only aim or dodge, but also pressure opponents, right? Because right here, right, if you strafe to the left, you give up by strafing to the right. You give up all of this space right here, right? You give up all of this space right here. So this wraith is just gonna strafe to the left here, and is going to run out this way. I mean, she does. That's literally exactly what she does, right? Because it's the only place she can go, right? But if you like land here, and you strafe to the left, the wraith's now pinned against the wall. Can't go backward or forward. She can only go left or right, and she's not gonna walk at you. If she walks at you, you just kill her. Like she only has the ability to go left or right if you strafe like this. So she's literally pinned against the wall just by you moving. I think these clips are pre LG arc as well. That's fair, but it's still an important concept to cover for everybody else. Yeah, that might be here, right? So literally, if you stand here, the wraith is pinned against this wall and can't do anything other than go left or right. She might try and phase, obviously, but like you can again just kill her. She doesn't really. She's really clueless, and you kind of just murder her here. She doesn't really do anything. And then that clip was just a guy walking backwards. You're fine with that. This is a solid clip. Just I think the only thing like literally if you kill that bloodhound earlier, you can go target. Wait, are you full health here? Oh yeah, you're not even full health here. Yeah, if you were full health, if you were full health, this would have been like 100% okay. But like you need to play a little bit more like passively, especially with like here, instead of trying to go for this other Ash here. I think the best thing to do after like the bloodhound is just go for the box for the armor swap, right? Literally like just go. I'm doing have a complex art strafing. I learn something new every day. Dude, tragic. I'll be Sam's guide on it. Sam's guide on it is really good, but I'll also be running like my own guide at some point in the future, and I'll have like a bunch of people like work on with me and shit like that. It's coming at some point. I just need to like I have a lot of other things to work on first, right? So like right here, right? You basically have two options. Like like the hard swing, you could have also played this cover very well here, right? You could have slid jump to the wall here, played the wall like this here, and then actually trade and then like disengage a lot easier than you were able to right here. Because right here you just had to stay and fight, which was fine. Right. You can literally play this cover here, shoot the bloodhound, and then fight the Ash. Or you can go, or if once you're here, you can go for the armor swap. See if there's armor in the box. If there's not armor in the box, you're 1 HP anyway. There's not really too much you can do, right? I'm just a little brain to go for armor swaps. Thing I'm working on right now. Yeah, armor swaps are the most fucking broken thing in this game. Armor swaps are like all people say Apex Legends doesn't have a skill gap because of the fact that things like aim assist and RNG and blah, blah exist. Oh, that exists. Oh my god, dude. But like, armor swaps are the -- thing in this game that are like skill gap, like actually insane skill gap. Make sure that especially make sure that you fucking practice that shit. Armor swaps will literally let you be so much more active in a fight, dude. So let's say if you are a god player, right? And then you practice strafing, you can strafe like a motherfucker. You have insane circle fucking anti-mirror circle strafe, like geometric strafing bullshit, right? If you have all that shit down and then you have insane armor swaps, you are unkillable. No one can kill you, right? Uptime. Literally, it's this uptime. It is just uptime. It's insane. It's really important to mentally map out what boxes you haven't used yet. If you've seen like Hollow in fights, like Hollow will literally go from like box to box to box to box to box to box to box. Wait, hang on. I have a clip. Hang on. I have a clip I need to show you guys. Let me go find it.
I'm shooting. Go inside. They're pushing in.
He like aim locks to the fucking armor swap, dude. He like aim locks to it. Like it looks like he's cheating for armor swapping. He looks like he's cheating for armor swaps. He literally right check on the box, dude.
Pushing in.